What's up, everyone? Happy Wednesday, and welcome to another edition of Dad's Turn to Talk. I will be your moderator for this evening. My name is Josh, and I want you to remember to hit that subscribe button and also to like this video, and to remind you that we do timestamp. And so if there's a particular subject you would love to get right to, feel free to go ahead. And tonight we have really a good show, and it's been a really good week. I'm very excited, gentlemen. We have football starting. Thank God, college football this weekend. And actually, as happy as I am, I'm sad because one of the greats, Lee Corso, has his final college game day show on Saturday. So they'll be in Columbus, Ohio for the Texas-Ohio State game, and it's going to be his last show that he ever does. So, Coach, we love you, and thank you for what you've given to college football. Well, anyway, we also have a nice little celebration tonight because our man Derrico is celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday, Derrico. How's everything?
At the home on your birthday, they give you cake, not just a fruit cup.
Yeah. That was good.
You got a candle with it. So.
I know. Big thanks. Thank you for that. Oh, that was good.
I want to know what your wife thinks about that video.
I can't wait to show her. She'll be very pleased. All is well. I had a very mellow, very relaxing, very wonderful, quiet day with all the things that I enjoy. So I can't complain. And you know what I didn't hear today was everybody complaining about how I don't like crypto. So there's that.
Oh, God.
Other than that, yeah, life is good, man. I can't complain. I'm not going to say my age, but you guys know it. It's that many times around. And all is well in my world right now. It was a good birthday.
Nice. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. I'm losing my voice here now. And
Thank God.
Our final guest is someone who thinks he's funny and wants to be funny, but let's face it, guys, he's not funny.
Yes, he is.
Bob, what's up, my man? How are you doing? And I want the truth.
Little depressed, but otherwise doing all right. I had to put a pet to sleep yesterday, so that was a little depressing. She was my baby. I had her for a while, but it was time. But otherwise, doing okay, and looking forward to having a good time tonight. Happy birthday, Derek. We're gonna have some fun tonight. We already got off to a good start, so
I'm sorry, Bob. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It sucks, man. She was 18 years old, so it had become time. So
yeah.
But anyway, like I said, let's go ahead, Josh.
I'm not a cat person. I know you have always been one. What's the oldest they live? Like 21? Can they live up to? Or
yeah, I mean, I've seen some live up there, but usually the lifespan
is 18,
like 15 to 18 years, somewhere around there.
Okay. Well, we're very sorry for your loss, buddy.
Thanks.
All right. Well, why don't we cheer this up now and let's get started with the show. All right. So just like it says, you don't own that movie. Amazon Prime is in the middle of a lawsuit. Bob, I think you have the article. You want to go ahead and bring that up for us?
Yeah. Okay. So this comes from the Hollywood Reporter, and the article, the headline, it says, "You don't actually own that movie. You just bought." A new class action lawsuit targets Amazon. A suit challenges Prime Video, telling people they can buy a movie when they're purchasing a license to watch it for a period of time. So just going into the article, it says A little known fact about movie and TV show purchases online. What's being bought isn't actually ownership of the title, but rather a limited time license for viewing access. Consider the $4.99 director's cut of Alien on Amazon Prime Video, and we'll be talking some Alien a little bit later, so that's great. Cheap, right? But if the tech giant loses the rights to that version, the movie can be replaced with a different cut, like the one for theaters. And if Amazon loses the rights to the film altogether, it'll completely disappear from the viewer's library. So should Amazon be able to say a consumer is buying that movie? Well, some people don't think so, and they've turned to court. So apparently this issue actually came back or came to the forefront at the California legislature in 2023 when gamers discovered that their access to the Chew would be cut off once Ubisoft shut down servers for the game. After the Stop Killing Games movement was born to stop publishers from destroying titles consumers had already bought. Lisa Ringgold, who filed the lawsuit, says she bought Bella and the Bulldogs Volume 4 on Amazon in May for $20.79, but soon lost access to the title. It's not an uncommon occurrence, similarly affecting consumers across digital stores like those hosted by Apple and Google. If you bought Downton Abbey through Amazon as the 5 seasons came out from 2010 to 2015, you no longer have them by 2024. The way in which digital transactions are structured, the lack of transparency around them, and the streaming landscape is partly why physical media is kind of sort of cool again. DVDs offer the ability now and forever to bypass the complicated web of licenses that leave fans unable to access their favorite titles. The lawsuit accuses Amazon, which didn't respond to a request for comment, of misrepresenting the nature of movie and TV transactions during the purchase process. The article goes on to say that on its website and platform, it's saying that when you buy a movie that you're actually buying the license, but that's like in a certain part in like the terms and agreement. Apparently, this was already an issue before a court. In a 2020 lawsuit alleging unfair competition and false advertising over the practice, Amazon maintained that its use of the word buy for digital content isn't deceptive because consumers understand their purchases are subject to licenses. Quoting Webster's dictionary, it said that the term means rights to use or services of payment rather than perpetual ownership. So let's see, it goes down a little bit further, talking about the licenses getting revoked and whatnot, and saying that the lawsuit is claiming that Amazon doesn't meet the standards set by the statute for a clear and conspicuous notice as far as actually displaying the information that you're buying a license to only use this for a while. So apparently in the lawsuit, they're saying they're seeking unspecified damages, including disgorgement of profits and punitive damages for allegedly intentionally malicious conduct. So that is what's going on here.
So it's interesting. I was just looking up on my Prime, and I had bought Spider-Man No Way Home when it went to digital because I wanted to have it. And I just looked, and it seems like it's still there, but I guess I bought the license, and I guess it can go away.
Yes, apparently it can go away at any point if they decide they don't want to have the license anymore, or Marvel decides to do something with it. Sony loses the rights. Marvel decides to put it on Disney Plus exclusively, or whatever the case is. You can actually lose the rights to it, and you won't actually be able to view it anymore. I mean, I guess you could review it for free on whatever streaming service it's on, right, but then you run the risk of one day they decide they don't want to show it anymore. And
no money back for it for your purchase.
So you're just out those funds. I've got a few titles that I've purchased through Amazon where I run the risk of the same thing happening, where they just up and pull it. For example, I bought the Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah.
Because the difference in renting it and the price in buying it really wasn't that much of a difference, and it was cheaper to actually purchase the whole thing as opposed to renting each episode. And then I wasn't sure I was going to have time to watch it all in the time that they give you, so I went ahead and purchased the whole thing. But at one point, or at some point, if they decide they don't want to have it anymore, I could lose that.
Right. So this is my question to you, gentlemen. What do you make of this? Do you think Amazon is wrong to do this and that they are misleading, the consumer? Or do you think it's just, the business and it is what it is? Derek, let's start with you on this one.
Okay. Me as a consumer, now this is just me.
Yeah.
I've never really understood why a purchase should happen through this stuff. I don't get it. I don't feel a need to purchase stuff through a streaming service because ultimately, I'll give you an example. We found out that Back to the Future. I think it was on Max at one point. Then it went away.
Right.
About a month or so later, it popped up on God, what was it? No, I think it was Prime. So then I thought to myself, well, why would you buy something if it's just going to pop up a couple months later? Seems fine to me. I mean, it may not be available every time I want it. It may not be on demand like that. But if it's around, okay, then fine. Well, I mean, why would you need to buy it? The only time that I think you would actually want to buy something is if you, one, really, 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 really love a movie, which is apparently what Josh did with Spider-Man.
Right.
No Way Home. Now you're really going to have to say goodbye to
I haven't bought anything else. That's what's funny. I've never bought anything else.
Yeah. Or two, your kids really like something and it's just a valuable thing to have with a click of a button. It's that kind of stuff. But other than that, I see no purpose in purchasing stuff through streaming. So for me, this was not a big deal. However, having said that, when you say that word purchase, that is a very, very, very bold word, which has very specific meaning.
True.
And if you tell me I purchase and then you try to take something away that I bought, that to me is theft. I mean, you told me I could have something, I bought it from you, and then you yanked it back. Without, right. I mean, you didn't tell me why. You didn't tell me how this worked to begin with. You just said, it's mine now, without doing that.
I didn't know I had bought the license, apparently. I thought I bought the movie.
Well,
then, 2 days ago.
So there's not that much Peter Parker left for you now, is there?
Who knows? I'm afraid to
We do know. Stop showing it.
Good Lord.
So, and the thing is we probably should have realized that, or people should be realizing that, because when you purchase it, you're not actually downloading it to anything.
That's true.
It just goes to your library on the streaming service.
Right.
And in essence goes to a database that specifically identifies you as the unique character and then places it there. It just keeps it in a parking lot for you. You don't actually take it. So, yeah, that's a great point, Bob. Another question that I'm curious about here, is it just Amazon that's running into this issue, or is it all of them?
I'm sure it's all of them.
It's probably all of them, but if you think about it, you don't go on Netflix really and buy a movie.
No, but they don't give you the option either. They're not trying to fool anybody.
No, neither is Matt. The only one I can think of is either Apple or Amazon. Am I right, Bob?
Google also.
Okay, Google.
Well, Xfinity up here will give you the option to buy something too, just through the cable box.
Yeah, no, same with Dish Network. You can buy, anything or rent anything. All right, Bob, what do you make of all this? I know you sent us the article, and I know, over the years you have, you buy a lot of stuff. Do you agree with this? Do you feel like you've been screwed over? What do you think?
Okay, well, first off, most of the stuff I buy is physical media because I've always been a big supporter of physical media. I don't like streaming for everything. I think there are a lot of benefits to it, but I don't like that it's replaced physical media because there's a lot of things that can happen with streaming to take away from the physical media and to take away a lot of the movie experience. I mean, they can, for like the article actually brought up that if you purchase a specific version of it and they lose the rights to that, it could be replaced with another version. There have been films out there where they made changes to over the years because it was no longer politically correct, or because for safety issues and stuff like that. A good example, in the original Lilo and Stitch, in the original cartoon, Lilo hides out like in a washer or a dryer or something like that. Well, they change it in the Disney Plus version to look like something else. And so that, because they say, well, it's not safe for kids to be jumping in there.
No.
And so they changed it. Now that's something minor, but what's to say they can't go in and make major changes to films? And because you don't have the physical copy of it, you're not getting the version the way it was intended to be seen. You're seeing an edited or an altered version of the film. So that's one reason I prefer physical media. Also, I don't like the fact that if the streaming service isn't working, sometimes you can't watch it. I like the opportunity, or I like the ability to just pop the DVD or the Blu-ray into my player and watch it whenever I want to watch. So for those reasons, I'm a big fan of physical media. Now, as far as it comes to this particular issue, there have been some titles, again, that I've purchased for various reasons because I couldn't find it on physical media or whatever the case was. It might have been that the cost literally was just like $1 more or $2 more to purchase it as opposed to renting it. And I'm like, I'll just go ahead and purchase it. Then that gives me more time to watch it, because you once you rent it, you have a limited time frame in order to watch it. So for that reason, I have purchased a few titles. Now, I do think that it is deceptive. Now, they can sit there and say that, oh, well, it's in our license agreement or it's in the purchase agreement, and it says at the bottom. Yeah, they put it all the way at the bottom and they change the font and all that stuff because they don't want people knowing. I mean,
Right.
They don't want people to be able to come back and say that, oh, well, I didn't know. They can say, oh, well, yeah, it was in there. But they know they'll get more people to pay the bigger price by using the word purchase. If you just say, like, I don't know, what would be a good term, an extended rental or something like that.
Yeah, it's probably
people are going to be like, no, I'm just going to buy the short rental. But if you say that you can buy the film, then yes, you're going to have more people want to do that. So for that reason, I do think it is deceptive. Now, as to how this lawsuit itself will go, I am curious to see how this will turn out and how a judge will rule. I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon settles this and you see other people like there are other class action lawsuits and stuff where you'll get like a flyer through the mail that says you've been identified as somebody who will benefit from this class action lawsuit because you were affected by such and such at this point. I wouldn't be surprised to see this extend out to that. And you see this going out to people who have purchased through Amazon, and this spills over into other streaming services as well. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a settlement on this, and you see people actually getting, compensation for those titles that they purchased. But to me, yeah, it does seem deceptive. And I do think that if this goes to court and they don't settle, then I do think a judge would probably rule in favor of the plaintiff on this one.
Okay. Well, I'll just put in my 2 cents here. It definitely I haven't watched, No Way Home through Amazon in a very long time, but it would definitely make me feel like, okay, I kind of agree with Derek. Like, why bother now to buy from, a streaming service when you can just wait and it'll, be on various ones that I already own.
Do you know if you still have it?
It says click play. I looked at it right when Derek was talking. I went to it. I guess you know what? Why don't we? I can actually.
He's worried about it now, so he's gonna go check.
I know, right?
Yeah,
No,
you
I
should.
don't think I'm worried, but I just think it would be. Let's see. Here it is. Play again.
You don't have to actually play it. I mean,
Yeah,
No,
it's okay.
it works.
It's fine. This isn't a
No, it
watch
works.
long episode.
It works. So it's there for right now, but I never thought in a million years it would disappear. Like I know
well,
on
it might in
Netflix.
a million years because you're not going to be there. So
I know. I mean, I know like Netflix, they get rid of stuff and then it comes back. Same with HBO Max. So I agree. I think I agree with Bob in terms of I think we might be getting a letter, in the mail that says something was settled. And if if this was the reasoning, if you bought something years ago, I don't know. It's interesting because you would never think the license that we bought a license because you buy it, you're like, oh, I bought the movie. I've got the movie. It's on my Amazon Prime account.
Well, it's deception. It's
Yeah.
finest, right? Like you're making people think they did something that they really didn't do,
Right.
and that's not fair to a consumer. You told me when I think I purchased something, I have a very specific meaning as to what that is, and it's the dictionary version. It's not Amazon's version that says your purchase really means this. It's not It's not their interpretation. Like they're not thinking they're getting their interpretation of how
Right.
Amazon frames that to you. And so that's why it's not very cool.
think about it this way: Amazon's other side of their business. What if they said you just bought the license to such and such book or such and such blender or whatever it is that you bought through Amazon, and then when you receive it, they're like, "Oh well, we got to take it back now because you only had the license. We lost the license to it."
Yeah.
That's the same concept here. People are thinking that when it comes to Amazon, that I'm purchasing this, it's now mine. And I understand again that you can put it in like their agreement or whatever when you go to purchase it, but it needs to be like at the front.
Yeah.
And always say that this is the risk that comes with it. You can watch it at any time as long as we have the license. We could lose that license at any
Was this
point.
in there at all? Was it in there at all? Is there anything about this at all in there?
Well, according to the article, it says that it's there. So
you also, and who knows, there may have been
see.
something
Okay.
like when you go ahead.
Okay, on its website and platform, the company tells consumers they can buy a movie, but hidden in a footnote on the confirmation page is fine print that says you receive a license to the video and you agree to our terms. And that's what the complaint or what the plaintiff is saying on this one.
That's what it says.
And Amazon is saying that the term buy in this case means the rights to use or services of payment rather than perpetual ownership, and that its disclosures properly warn people that they may lose access.
See,
Apparently, they tried to, because this is already in court prior to this, but the court ultimately rebuffed Amazon's bid to dismiss the lawsuit. So yeah, I don't think this is going to go their way if it goes to court. I really do think this is going to settle. But if it does go to court, I think this rules in favor of the plaintiff on this one.
Because, Bob, it says exactly what you said here on my thing under Spider-Man. By ordering or viewing, you agree to our terms. Sold by Amazon.com Services, LLC.
See, but that doesn't say that we're going to lose access to it.
No.
Well, okay, but then Amazon can say the terms are located here.
Exactly.
You know what? That's the thing, but I'd like to think you're right on this and have the consumer just be able to say, hey, this isn't fair, because I agree with you, it's not fair. But they have very, very powerful lawyers who are paid very handsomely just to get through stuff like this. And if it goes to court, they could easily they're gonna try and throw the fact that we tell you this way, we tell you that way, and then it's very possible that the judge can say, well, if you didn't read the fine print, then there's nothing we can do here. However, if that plaintiff has a good lawyer, the lawyer can say, you expect anybody to read 32 pages worth of fine print or whatever it is? No one's going to do that. That's unrealistic. So I'm hoping that it does rule in the favor of the plaintiff.
Hey, Derico,
I don't know.
it says here usage rules. Your use of digital content is subject to the Amazon Prime Video usage rules. The usage rules provide important information, including the time period during which you are authorized to view different types of digital content, the viewing period, and limitations on the number and type of compatible devices on which each type of digital content may be downloaded, streamed, and viewed.
So basically, you got to go check out some other rules. So
Yeah.
you buy it, but I got to go check over here.
Yes,
That's why I think that this thing could go in favor of the plaintiff.
that's what I think.
And it's not because I don't disagree with you, Derek. I do think they've got some very powerful lawyers here.
Mhm.
And I think that they probably could fight it. But I think this is going to be one that they're going to want to settle. I don't see
They may not want to like waste their time with it.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think they're going to want to waste their time with this. I think they're going to be like, all right, fine, whatever. Because to them, paying out a couple $1 billion isn't that big of a deal. I mean,
That's true. Too.
because they're going to make it all back.
Mhm.
It's
Just
I mean,
make it
yeah,
go away.
I'm not saying they want to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that it's not going to hurt them. And I say a couple $1 billion. I don't think a lawsuit would get that far. Or a settlement get that far. I would think it would be, 500 million or something like that, and and everybody gets like $3 back. That's not, it's not going to be something that's going to be this mass settlement that goes to everybody. But I do think that they'll settle this one. I just don't think they'll want to waste their time with it. And I think what they'll do is just change the way their agreement looks once this whole process is done.
They got enough money where they can make things go away. That's what it is. They can.
So-
They're way too powerful at this point. So either way, even if Amazon loses, they win.
Yeah.
Which is just the nature of the beast now. But streaming services to take note of this, though. Don't just do that to people.
Yeah.
It's just deceptive. It's rude. It's just a bad look. That's just not fair to do to people.
Correct.
Now, Peacock has a service that you can also pay additionally for, where you can download stuff. So when they offer it to you, it sounds like they're actually going to let you own it.
Speaking of Peacock, I had talked about possibly dropping Peacock.
Yeah.
Now that they're not going to have the WWE.
Yeah.
And then it occurred to me they're going to have the NFL. So
Yeah.
I can't really drop it
Well,
there.
they have college.
They have college. And then I just saw a trailer for this new show coming out on there that's like a true crime story
That's how
based
they
on
tell
like on some serial killer. And I was like, all right, I'm going to have to keep this because I'm going to have to watch this show.
Mhm.
I'm just,
Derek,
I can't skip this one.
Derek, did you see Bob on the phone? He's like calling Peacock up to cancel. Yeah, I would like. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. This show looks really good. Never mind. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
I can
You would
see
actually
me doing-
call Peacock up on the phone?
Yes.
No, I
Customer
just
service.
wanted to do it for the story.
They're going to send you a form to fill out. He's going to write it in.
I mean, I could have said he was online looking at it, but I didn't care. I wanted. No, thank you.
Yeah, that
I'm
makes
not
more
giving up.
sense.
Well, okay, and then I'm gonna piggyback onto this. We are not far away from the streaming service getting a major big event sports wise. It's gonna happen. A Super Bowl on a streaming service is gonna happen.
No.
Probably within the next 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
I
doubt
think
it.
that's gonna happen. I at some point.
I don't think so. I'm going to disagree because what if, like Bob's thing about the Blu-rays and everything, it's all on Wi-Fi. What happens if the Wi-Fi breaks down during the Super Bowl?
I think the way they'll start it is they'll start by streaming it as
Simulcast.
well as showing it on the cable network.
Right.
Yeah. So what will happen is that they will most likely. Let's take ABC as an example. Let's say they get one year, right?
Okay.
They will show that there in the ESPN app.
Right.
Then they will, in essence, at 1 year, I'm not saying this is going to happen every year, but 1 year, they will say exclusively on ESPN, not even the channel, the app.
I don't think so.
How much money? How much money?
I think it's too
How
risky.
much money?
It's too risky.
Nope, wrong. How
Josh,
much money?
have they or have they not showed playoff games exclusively on streaming?
They have, but how many people watch playoff games versus how many people watch the Super Bowl?
Okay, I get what you're saying.
We
but
didn't say that was
the-
going to happen right now.
No,
But
I'm just
You
saying.
can't tell me that they won't take that into account to say we could boost our subscriber numbers so much because you just said it. How many people are going to watch that Super Bowl? They will do it anyway. Even if they have one person get the service and they have a big Super Bowl party together and they all split the cost.
Maybe.
You can't tell me that down the line somebody's not going to do it. The fact that you see like certain boxing matches, you see now the WWE, you see
Yep.
everybody now beginning to do this playoff games exclusively on a streaming service.
And then think about this. NBC has Peacock. CBS has Paramount Plus. ABC has they already have ties. It's already going there. I'm telling you, this is going to be a done deal in a couple of years.
Let's see what happens.
Especially if cable dies out.
If it does, I don't know if cable's going to ever
I don't think
really
it's gonna die out.
officially die out, though.
You
That
think
seems
it's
like
dying out, Bob? You think it's going to die out?
Look, I'm not saying it's going to die out anytime soon, but cable numbers are down. I mean,
They
that's a reality because you got more and more people cutting cords, and now you have all these streaming services that offer live television. So Hulu's got their live, television. I could pay another $60 more from what I'm paying now to have Hulu, Disney Plus, and the ESPN app. Add in the live television, and I'm spending probably $150 less than what I'd be paying for cable.
Mm-hmm. YouTube TV.
And then if I wanted to add in, I already have HBO with HBO Max, so that's the $20 more. I'm not saying that it's going to happen today. It's not even going to happen in the next 5 years. But I think you'll see somebody experiment with showing it on their app as well as on the live feed. They may have already been doing that. We don't even know it. I mean, because ESPN kind of already has been, haven't they? When it's been on ABC, you could turn around and catch it on ESPN.
That's true. So here's what the trial run will be. I think that there's going to be a weekend where they put both conference championships on streaming. And if that works, they're going to go the big game.
I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that.
Mm-hmm. I see that being the way.
I mean, they already do it with a wild card. The next step will be the divisional round.
Yep. It's going to happen, dude. I'm telling you, Josh, you're not going to like this.
No, I have all that. I'm just saying that I'm thinking in terms of like what Bob has said about like, a physical device. And, the reason he likes it is because he doesn't want to have to deal with Wi-Fi. What if you're watching the Super Bowl and the team is down and they're ready to throw a Hail Mary and it freezes?
Look at what happened with the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah, that fight. Yeah.
Not everybody. I mean, a ton of people, don't get me wrong, you two, watch that fight.
Now, in all
When
fairness,
it comes to the Super Bowl, they all watch. People will watch the Super Bowl. We've got us who'll watch it for the game, right? You got people who'll watch it who are not football fans for the commercials. Then you have people who, could care less about the game, care less about the commercials, but will watch it for the halftime show.
Look,
Well,
I was just going to say that the Jake Paul Mike Tyson event was so watched worldwide. That gives you a good idea of what an audience would be globally for the Super Bowl. That gives you a pretty good idea.
Right.
And they had a lot of problems, but in fairness, that was their first go round. Their NFL games have been a lot better since then, and a lot of their live events have been better since then. But they also haven't had that same type of audience. So
That's the difference. Not
It-
everyone.
it-
There's no real way to test
Hey.
that until that many people get in there. Unfortunately,
Correct.
you can push thresholds on that test wise all you want. You will never get there until you get the real live number to see what that stress is like. So now
And
that they're there, it's great, but you're gonna have to live and learn.
Derico, you said something about YouTube TV. I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw, and I didn't even think about this, just because I've always seen it with, Dish Network, DirecTV, where a station threatens to leave because of the contract, like,
Yeah.
CBS or NFL Network. They had a thing with Fox. YouTube TV did today. And they just got a couple of months added on.
So
to-
meaning that Fox and YouTube TV cut a deal. They
Yep,
now have
like a
okay.
mini deal, not even a full deal right now. But they were like, I didn't even know they could do it with the streaming, and apparently, yeah. So
yes, they can do it with the streaming because you still
well, that's
gotta
what I just said. They
because
just
you
did
still
it,
gotta
and
have the rights to show it.
Yeah.
right. And so nobody is safe when it comes to you. Yes, you're cutting the cord, and it's cheaper, but it doesn't mean it's not a perfect thing either.
Well, okay. Here's what's going to happen with linear cable. I think
Huh.
we're going to have so many different streaming options that linear cable is just going to be another one of those options. That's what it's going to be, and they're going to not be as big of a player, but they'll still be an option. That's
Yeah.
what I think is going to happen.
That's what some of these services already are.
Yeah,
Sling,
exactly.
Fubo, some of these
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they
Yeah.
are.
Tubi, all of those.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I also-
Josh, this goes
yeah.
back to what you said, or this goes back to what we were talking about with the article. That, like you said, Josh, nobody's safe. If they want to drop the license, you're screwed. You'll still be screwed with streaming one way or another.
Correct.
I just realized there's one more situation where where people would go with physical media, unlike Bob, of course, who will live by the sword and die by the sword. But the one of the situation is like holiday movies. Like, it's time to pull that one out. Got to dust that off. So here we go. Like 8 crazy nights for us, Josh.
Exactly. 8 crazy nights, Adam Sandler. All right, gentlemen. Very good. Anything else you want to add, or do you want to go on to our next topic?
Just a fine reminder to get to the movie theaters, folks, as well, whenever you
Yes.
can.
There you go. All right. Let's go to the next thing.
All right, before we get into the next topic, we got something fun for everybody here. All right, so we've done this segment before, but we've done like full sessions here. Just some things we're experimenting with here on the show. So we want to ask a would you rather question, and we'd love to hear from you in the comments section as to what you would rather do. So, gentlemen, would you rather date someone who asks questions every 5 minutes during a movie, or someone who spoils the plot?
Go ahead, Derek.
Spoil it. Because there's you said within 5 minutes they're just going to spoil everything.
No. It's somebody who asks a question every
that's
5
okay.
minutes, or somebody who spoils the plot.
When do they spoil the plot?
I'm guessing before the movie or when it first starts. I'm
Okay.
guessing.
Because if it happens about like the midway point, I may have figured it out. So if I figured it out, then you didn't spoil it. But when I have somebody doing that at all times until the end, no, absolutely not. That is going to bug me to death. I'm going to be super annoyed. I didn't come to watch a movie for that experience. I just didn't. Okay? And
I agree with you, Derek.
And this is the one time where I would tell Amazon, take the movie away, because I can't stand this. Right?
That's
No, I
funny.
agree with you. And for me, it's because when somebody's asking a question every few minutes, you're like, quiet. I'm trying to watch the movie.
Exactly. Like,
Yes.
and
But
then
if
it's
they
my
spoil the-
attention away.
But if it's somebody who spoils the plot, you can get around that. You want to know how you get around that? You either watch the movie before they do, or you watch it with them for the very first time as they're watching it for the first time.
Right.
Oh, that's
That
fair.
way they can't spoil it.
That's a
Unless,
good
of course,
point.
they heard about it and they'd spoil it that way. But that's the way you could get around it.
Mhm.
Watch it before they've seen it, or watch it with them while it's their first time seeing it. That way they can't ruin the plot for you. Because if it's somebody who's asking the questions every 5 minutes, you won't be able to sit down and watch a movie with this person. Where somebody who spoils the plot again, if you can catch them that very first time, they can't spoil it. So,
Well, and sometimes like sometimes this isn't such a big deal. Let's take Titanic as an example. Yeah, I know. Okay,
I was gonna say that.
like I know the boat crashes. Like, okay. Or even Endgame. I'm like, I know Thanos dies. Like, it's fine. Like, I know what happens here. I know he wreaks havoc, and then he's dust. Which, I mean, I didn't think he was going to be literal dust, but that's what he turned out to be. So sometimes it's not that big of a deal with the plot because you just know it already, and just let's see how they do it, and let's
or
go
if it's a
along.
bad movie, you just don't care.
No, exactly. There's that too, where it's like you can ruin this for me, and I'll be completely fine with it. As a matter of fact, are we done? Can I leave now? Like, it's that kind of stuff.
What about you, Josh?
Spoil the plot.
Yeah.
I agree. I could not
Yeah.
have somebody telling me every 5 minutes. Oh my God, I would go crazy.
Yeah.
I would go crazy. And especially spoil the plot due to the answers Bob gave. You see the movie before the other person sees it. You know? And it is what it is.
Do you guys like to go to movies alone?
Yes.
No.
I
No.
love
I
to go
need
to
to
movies
start.
alone.
I need to
What
start.
do you mean you don't like going to movies alone?
You've known me all like
Yeah, I know, but I've never understood why.
I don't know why. I always have a weird. I've gone to 2 movies alone in my life. One, The Incredible Hulk, because Bobby was in the army. He wasn't there. And then I went to see Revenge of the Sith, like for the 3rd time. And I just went after, like, during work or something one time.
You shouldn't have admitted that at all.
That's the only times I've ever gone alone to a movie.
Did you cry?
No.
Sort of.
But it's,
Josh, when you
I'll
go to
tell
the
you this.
bathroom, do you go have somebody go with you?
No, I'll tell you this. It sucked seeing The Incredible Hulk without Bob, though. Because I wanted to like peek over and be like, "King, what do you think?" And then I had to wait until he wrote me a letter because he went to see it. Where I think you were in San Antonio, and you
Yeah,
went
well, it's because they were showing it at the little
and you wrote me a letter
little
about
bar. Because by the time I actually got to it, it had already been released
it. Right.
at for DVD and whatnot, and so I was able to watch it at this little bar that they had, like a little hangout for all the soldiers. So that was pretty cool.
So yeah.
So I was able to see it then.
But everyone I know goes alone if it's a movie that like your wife doesn't want to see and you can see. I'm sure I'll probably soon have to see.
I love it. Are you kidding me? It's the best.
Yeah.
There's so many positives, Josh. First off,
Yeah.
it's cheaper, which you should appeal to you.
Yes.
Number
it does.
2, it's quieter, which should appeal to you.
Yeah. You're right.
So this was one of the best times in my life was when I got laid off from Wells Fargo. I got paid 6 months full salary, and I would go to the theater during like a Tuesday at like 10 a.m. Ain't nobody in that thing. It was the best.
Now you're making me want to go. Now you're making I want to go.
I'm telling you, man, you're missing out on great things in life like that. You got to
Yeah.
get to it.
Yeah. So, all right, very good. Are we doing another one, or that was it?
Oh, that was it.
That was it. Okay, very cool. All right, let's go on to our next topic. All right, so
That was
last
great.
night we had Alien Earth episode 4 on FX and Hulu. Bob, let's go ahead and hit the spoiler warning.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
So yeah, so last night was a very good episode. What was I going to say? Now I lost.
Well, hold on. Could you say that again, Josh?
I thought last night was a very good episode. So thank you, gentlemen. I feel that your recap last week helped me.
You bunch
And-
of losers!
Yes. But anyway, I want to get into
regular programming soon enough.
what you guys thought. Baba, let's start with you.
I thought it was a pretty interesting episode. This was probably the weirdest episode of the group,
Yeah.
and I still was pretty intrigued by it. So, of course, you find out that Wendy can hear the aliens. Now, we already knew this from the earlier episodes, but it's confirmed, and now everybody else knows she can hear them. And not only can she hear them, but she can actually communicate with them. And we find that out from the ending scene that she can actually communicate with them,
Right.
or at least, make noises that they recognize or whatever. So I think that's a pretty interesting concept. We don't know really why she can hear them, if it's an error with her programming or the way she was built or what the case is. They don't really explain it, but they do mention that the xenomorphs now know that she can hear them. So I think that's interesting.
I read something that said, can she control the xenomorphs?
That's what they're hinting at.
You don't know that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
That's
hinting that might be a possibility, especially with that end scene where
Right.
the alien, the xenomorph pops out of the lung, which I thought was kind of cool. And you
That's
see it
crazy.
sitting there like a dang snake or a cobra,
Yeah.
She's sitting there like, or whatnot, just making her noises or whatever. And
She's turning it. Yeah.
yeah, she's like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and that xenomorph says,
Yeah. They let her pet it and stuff.
Mhm.
And she was like, even the doctor was like, kind of like,
yeah. So I think that's an interesting concept. I'm curious to see where they're going to go with this. Obviously, the way it ends, it hints that
Right.
she can control them, but let's see. Where it got weird for me
I bet I know.
was with that one dude. Slightly, I think is the character's name.
The Indian guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's Slightly, isn't it? Isn't that the
Maybe.
character's
Yes.
name?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is
So he
technically
keeps
correct.
being talked to, or Morrow keeps communicating with him. And just the scene where Morrow's with his mother,
Yeah.
and he's like, your mom wants to say hello. And he's like, and Slightly's like, mommy, it was just,
Can't hear you. She
it
can't
was
hear
just,
you.
yeah, it was just weird because, I know, again, they're kids in adults' bodies and whatnot. It was just kind of a weird sequence. And with the brother there, the way he was reacting with the brother, not the best acting job in the world. So it was a little weird. But I get the concept of what they were doing. I think that was probably the weakest part of the episode. Obviously, they're going somewhere with this. He's going to try to use the brother to
Kill the eggs.
with the eggs. That apparently that's what he's going to try to do. We'll see if that happens. My favorite character so far has been Timothy Oliphant's character. What's the character's
The one
name?
with the curly hair.
White
when he
hair.
asked about the-
The white hair. Yeah, the android.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind.
It's a
Hold on,
great character. It's a Kirsch.
Kirsch, yes.
Yes.
He is my favorite character so far. I just like I like the acting job that he's doing.
Yeah.
He's real cool as the way he interacts with everybody, because again, he's an android. He's not an android with a human consciousness.
Right.
He's pure on synthetic. So he's a very interesting character. Boy Cavalier, like I mentioned last week, he's basically Peter Pan. He's a boy who didn't grow up.
He's funny.
And you see the way he is, and how excited he is about everything. This is a shiny new toy. He treats everything like a child would.
How's
so-
your lung? Didn't he ask him how his
Yeah,
lung
yeah.
is
He's like,
doing?
how's
Yeah.
your lung? Yes. And so he's kind of a fun character too, because he's got all these ambitions and whatnot, but he's coming at it almost with a child's mind, and he's extremely smart, but it's like he never grew up. So overall, I thought it was a weird episode, but I thought it was still very intriguing. I thought it was solid. The ending, I'm curious to see where they're going to go with that. Overall, I enjoyed what I saw in episode 4. Those are my initial thoughts.
Okay, cool. Derico?
Okay, so with real good sci-fi, there comes a point where you got to start really understanding how biology and mechanics work,
Okay.
about what's involved. That's why I loved the title of the episode, which is Observation,
Right.
because that's exactly what happened through all of this.
Yeah.
And now you learn the little things about how really all of this operates. Not all of it, you don't know all of it, but you know enough to have that build interest moving forward. That eyeball with the tentacles,
Oh,
oh,
yeah, that was, and I was eating during that scene, and I was like, why? Why? I was eating lunch during.
Top stuff better than this.
perfect.
Something about the goat, and then the and I just freaked out.
Well, and then the lamb gets back up and looks like it, and now you can tell it's totally changed.
Yes, it gets quiet and it's observing them.
Yes, that's what's scary.
And
That's
and the best part of it was how cold of a stare it
Yes.
gave. It gave all of them when it popped back up.
And what's interesting is every time they would move, the goat would be like,
Yeah.
Yep.
It was so freaky.
yeah, it
Well,
would just move with them.
we remember that thing came out of a cat's body first. That was the first time we saw that thing.
The cat, and then
And so that little gruesome
oh,
SOB of an alien is really becoming fun to cringe at.
right.
I think there's been actually a lot of better acting jobs. The redhead robot, I can't remember her name.
The one who says she's pregnant.
Yes.
Yes. Nibs.
See, I thought Bob was going to say that was the weird scene.
Yeah, because she kind of had this weird, like, no disrespect to this actress at all. She's great, but she kind of had a weird face. But that face got real scary when she started to get mad.
Yeah.
There was that moment there where you knew that she was good. She could clearly get up to no good
Right.
real fast.
And the doctors freaked out.
And the doctors freaked out. So
What
that
would
was
you be if this freaking robot comes over to you and says, "I'm pregnant," and it was actually a kid? I'm pregnant. It's a boy. What if I name it this?
I've got to remember all this because there's so many moving parts on this, and I keep forgetting that these were kids.
Yeah, this is not a show you can turn your head away from.
No,
You need to
but
be
like,
paying
you guys
attention at all
said about
times.
the Indian guy. Oh, that's a kid in the adult, and I was like, what? Like, it doesn't occur to me that easily that that's a kid in there.
Well, even Morrow's treating him like a kid. You're a
Yes.
good boy. You're such a good
I know
boy.
it just didn't.
Well,
Now I get it.
how can I trust you if you don't tell me your name?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead, Derek.
That
Yeah.
Morrow's still my favorite. That guy's up to zero good. He has
Oh yeah.
very evil plans, it feels like.
Did
Yeah.
you see the promo for the next episode?
No.
Okay, I saw it on YouTube today. It's gonna jump back, and we're gonna see what happened on the ship when everything went to hell.
Oh, that could be good. Okay.
That's good stuff. I was wondering if you were going to get a flashback episode because they
No.
only showed that one piece of it, and then you're just
At the beginning.
on your way. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Right
show
at
the
the beginning
beginning of it where they're all fine, and
Right.
they're all about to go to sleep. In fact, you actually see them go to sleep, and then the next scene you see them, they're crash landing with the xenomorph running loose.
Right.
Trying to rip apart the little chamber that Morrow's in.
Yes.
Right.
And Morrow basically lets the rest, like all of them, die. So that should be some fun murder, like we got in episode 2 at that party.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh, God.
That was nuts.
And obviously, we're still going to get more because we now have a brand new xenomorph.
Yeah.
So, and that's also to the point. We now we have an episode that gave us all these details to help us probably tell richer stories moving forward. That's what good science fiction should do. I love this because that's exactly what this is. Great science fiction. Yes, it's weird, but we knew it was good. There's probably a good chance it was gonna be weird because now we can have even more fun with this, and we can have even bigger action sequences and bigger suspense. So sign me up again. Yes, it was weird, but I didn't look away. I was zoned in the whole time.
Same here.
And that's how you know you got a good show. This has a potential. I think is it already renewed for season 2?
My
Yes.
understanding is that it was renewed for season 2, or that they were thinking about. Let me look it up real quick. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it hasn't been officially confirmed, but it says, but early signs are positive with the series' successful debut, and creator Noah Hawley expressing interest in multiple seasons. While there have been reports of plans for a second season to be in development, there's no official announcement yet.
Okay.
Right.
But
I think it's going to depend on how the viewers continue to
respond.
to watch this. I'm curious what the viewing numbers are. Go ahead and finish, Derek. I'm going to look that up and see if we have any viewing numbers.
I would like to think that this is going to be a show that's positive and does get picked up, because if it does, this is a show that could have really strong legs for a good amount of seasons, like well past 3. So,
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, I don't have numbers on the other episodes, but for the premiere, which were the first 2 episodes, it was 9.2 million views. Now, I don't know if that's including both episodes together or if that's just the first episode, but they're saying for the first 6 days, it got 9.2 million global views.
Okay. I don't know magnitude-wise if that's impressive or not.
Well, it does say that it marks a strong opening for the new series. So
okay,
we'll see.
So let's think positive, right? This is a show that has the potential to carry really awesome stories in a lot of different ranges moving forward. So I'm excited not only about this season, but man, they're going to leave you on a cliffhanger with this, and then we're going to have to start up a whole new season. You're going to be hooked. So I can't wait. I'm still ready for. How many do we have now left? 5
or more. So we're at the midway point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay. Well, man, now I'm really in for it. So weird. Yes. Still having a ball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Josh.
So after last week, I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, do I pull a Derek in the Acolyte? Do I stop it for myself? I'm like, no, can't do it to the guys. I got to keep it up. I'm already invested through 3 of these episodes. I'm going to watch episode 4 and really, I listened to what you guys had to say last week, and I really did my best to pay attention this week, and I was hooked.
Okay.
I have to say that was, to me, probably my favorite episode.
Really?
I would say between that and the second episode are my 2 favorite episodes. Okay.
What did you like about it?
I think it's a combination of just how you guys were able to explain things last week. And so I was kind of able to understand a little bit more, about the lung, about the alien getting in, in the lung. And then I really like that character, the funny one, who actually mentions the lung and,
Boy Cavalier. He's talking about the head of Prodigy.
You call him the Peter Pan, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the character's name is Boy Cavalier. So
okay. So I really like that. For me, that the lamb or sheep, whatever it was, that freaked me out. That was crazy. That whole scene had me hooked. How it just, like Bob said, was looking, and I was like, oh my God. And I knew something. I had been waiting for weeks, because they kept showing it's not a goat, right? It's a lamb. Is that what it is? Or a sheep?
Yeah, it's a sheep.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't even know. So anyway, so that was interesting. I think the whole part with the Indian guy and the mom and him saying, okay, so this is what you're going to do. I want you to choose someone. You got to go steal the eggs. So that's going to be interesting. How the heck is this guy going to get in there and take those eggs, and who the heck knows what's going to happen?
Well, he said that he doesn't want him to, that he can't steal the eggs. He said the easiest way for him to do it would be to take somebody in there,
right,
and let the egg hatch, the face hugger attached to his face, and
Right.
then go and hide him for a couple of days and bring him to him, because the idea is they're hoping to get whoever it was back to Wayland Yutani before the xenomorph pops out of the guy's chest or girl's chest, whoever it is.
Right.
And that's not an idea that hasn't been explored in previous Alien films where they tried to actually do that. They actually tried that in Aliens.
Okay. God, it's been so long. I really gotta go back and watch it.
That's what Paul Reiser's character was trying to do to Sigourney Weaver, and
Oh yeah.
and the character of Newt is get them impregnated, put them into the capsules, have them fall asleep, and then get on and then get back to Earth. But apparently Paul Reiser didn't think that through, because we've learned in other Alien entries that thing's still going to pop out regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The pregnant thing was a little weird. I thought that whole scene was a little weird, and how she was like, "I'm pregnant." What do you mean you're pregnant? No, you're not. Yes, I felt it this morning.
That was basically to show that she was like, there's mechanics there with how now she is in essence like possessed by being in contact with them,
with the aliens.
There's a level of dysfunctionality that must happen in the brain where you go to bad places. Now that's just
I think that's the whole point here, is that they're malfunctioning. They don't have the control over them that they thought they did.
No.
And that's almost like the alien species. They created this and they still don't have control over it. Just like Wayland Yutani wouldn't have had control over these alien species either.
So is Wendy going to be like the big bad and be
No, I don't think so, but
that's what makes her so fascinating. She's the one that now has she's the one that can maybe manipulate them. So you don't know, because there's no other synthetic beings now that have shown that kind of control except her.
And then her brother. And then when the brother's like, I want to take her home. She doesn't have a home.
Well, then that's part of the sci-fi. You get it. That's another layer of sci-fi as well.
Okay.
Even if she's synthetic, but she has the mind, is she really purely synthetic? Is it really an android, or are there feelings in there? Like there are layers to this, and that's great sci-fi.
But the brother's an android too, right?
No, the brother's human.
Oh, brother's human.
Okay.
See, look.
Wow.
See,
I don't know.
Like you said, Derek. Like you said, Derek. There's layers to this. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of that episode in Star Trek: The Next Generation where they had to debate whether Data was actually a life form, or if he was just an android, or if he was just a robot. What it came to is, as Riker was forced to have to try to prove that Data was not alive, there's even a moment where he has to switch Data off to prove that he's not alive. And then the counter argument was he was evolving, and that's what made him possibly being alive. And that's kind of what's going on here, in that these characters, they were meant to be, androids. Yes, they had human consciousness, but are they human? Are they not? Or what exactly are they? Are they growing in their intellect? What's going on with them here? And so it's a philosophical question, and it's an ethical question.
That's good science fiction.
So how many characters in this are human besides the brother? The doctor who she told was pregnant?
Boy Cavalier is human.
Okay, I'm
Boy
sorry.
Boy Cavalier, the two doctors that built her, pretty much everybody on that island are humans except Kirsch and the kids, who are now androids. Everybody else are
Timothy.
Morrow is a cyborg, technically.
Yeah, Morrow's a cyborg.
That I knew. Okay.
Yeah.
But everybody else is human. I can't believe you thought that the brother was an android.
How can you not think that? I've been struggling with the show.
I never thought it.
I've been struggling with this show the last month. Remember, I was losing track. I wasn't sure exactly. I mean, you told me about what's his name being a cyborg on the first episode that he would remember. Didn't I think he was a doctor or a human?
But they had like flashbacks of them as brother and sister together.
Yeah.
I don't know. I missed it.
And they kept saying Wendy was the first, and then they brought in all the kids. So
Yeah.
why would you think?
Yeah. This was really because this was the first episode I really just caught on to.
Kind of really got into it.
Yeah. Versus the other ones, it was, remember, I lost my.
Oh, that's right. He didn't have his iPad on the previous.
No, I
ones.
didn't watch. No, I watched this one on the big screen, but I didn't have anything with me. I was just watching it.
And yeah, you see, that was the problem. It had nothing to do with your iPad. It has to do with you paying attention to everything else.
But it's called that I was the first episode I just wasn't into. And so I lost my attention span wasn't there.
I wonder if you hadn't had your phone and all that stuff to begin with, if you would have been into it.
I don't know. But even today, I did have the iPad was next to me and I would look for a second during a commercial. But other than that, I was like literally into it. I'm like, okay, this is what's going on. And I'm curious.
You can't fast forward through the commercial?
Yeah, I did. But like if I wanted to
Then
really
why are you picking up the iPad?
Because I didn't fast forward. Like if I wanted to see something on the iPad, check my email, I didn't fast forward it until I was ready to focus.
Do you like your iPad so you can watch something and then be distracted?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's healthy.
I'm just looking at
Josh,
I think Wendy's going to be the big bad on all this.
I'm just going to tell you, when you find yourself in a hole, follow the first rule of holes and stop digging.
Bite
Put
me.
the shovel down.
Bite me. Good Lord.
I
No,
can't.
I
You have
think
a shovel in your hand.
Wendy's going to be the big. Wendy's the big bad. That's my
Okay,
prediction.
so you think it's going in that direction? That,
I
I mean,
think
that
she-
could be a possibility.
I think
that she
controls
evolves to
all
that.
of them. I think she controls all of them and ends up taking over, the earth with them.
It's so Wendy's an interesting one because she's not showing signs of being bad.
Not yet.
No, she's showing signs of being able to manipulate.
But Josh,
Right.
she can't take over the earth.
No, but using the aliens, she's going to be.
But she can't take over the earth. You say that you think she's going to use the aliens, she's going to take over the earth. She can't do that. You want to know why?
Because it's around during the original Alien movie.
Because this is a prequel. It's got to feed into the
Right.
original Alien. This is only a couple years before that.
So, I don't know.
And we
We'll see
know
what
Earth
happens.
is very much active at that point because even when they come back to Earth 70 plus years later or 60 plus years later in Aliens,
Yeah.
everything's a little bit different. Humanity's advanced a little bit more.
Got it. And so Timothy Oliphant is the one with the white hair and a vest, right? And he is a
Android.
He's an android.
Correct.
Timothy Oliphant has always been pretty good. He's another one that picks really good stuff generally. He gets it more right than wrong. He's
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
All
Great
right.
choice for the role.
Well, so on to the next episode.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. There's gonna be some good stuff
Great.
there. Yeah, some good
All right.
television.
Let's go to the final episode, a final topic of the night. Excuse me.
Episode.
I know.
Well, let me tell you something, Johnny. That the first 90 years or so, they go by pretty fast.
Oh, I love that movie. Do you know what I had for breakfast? Bacon. Do you know what I had for lunch? Bacon. Do you know what I have for dinner? Bacon.
No. Dinner was different. You know what I have for an afternoon snack? Bacon, a whole damn plate of it. And I usually
when I was-
rate my dinner.
When I was getting the clip for this, I found a bunch of the other ones. And he tells it. I love when he tells his son. He's like, "Did you mount her?" he's like, "No, Dad." He's like, "Well, does she have thick thighs?" No.
What's the
Well, then
problem?
what's the problem?
I'd be mounting every woman in a Wabasha.
Oh,
That was Grumpier Old Man, right? That was the
that was
sequel.
in the first
No,
one.
that was the first
That was
one.
the first one? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was funny. All right. So
One eye to the optometrist.
So, in honor of Derico's birthday, not the age or anything, we decided it was actually Derek's idea to come up with what is it? 5 reasons why we think getting old sucks,
Now,
right?
Mhm. I was sitting there thinking about that today, and I'm like, well, that's the topic because I'm feeling it today.
Good Lord! All
You
right,
guys will be right there. Don't worry.
so in honor of the birthday boy, why don't we get started with you?
Okay.
What do you think?
Um.
just give your 5 reasons.
Okay.
Instead of going one at a time.
First, the first part of it is just how I'm starting to realize that they do special things just because you're old, like a senior citizen menu. Like an AARP. Like, oh, you're old, so let's give you discounts. It's like, no, you're not just feeling sorry for me, and I don't need pity. All right, I'm fine. I'm a grown ass man. I may feel different the older I get, but just like, okay, enough. Like, I get it. I'm old. You don't have to feel bad for me. It's fine. All right.
Let me
Now,
ask
I'll-
you real quick before you
Yes.
go on.
Mhm.
Are you still going to take advantage of those discounts?
Heck
I
yeah!
probably will feel differently when I am ready and eligible.
Heck
for it.
yeah! You got to. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
Josh is going to tell people he's a senior now.
I believe me. I would try.
Lord knows you act like a little old lady half the time. Anyway,
Okay, you know what? That was uncalled for. I don't care if it's your birthday or not.
now you're itching.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think it's an angry tick. That's
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
what it is.
All right. Let's go. Let me move on to number 4. There's going to be no honorable mentions here because there's nothing honorable about this.
No.
All right. I feel like there was a point in our age where, it was exciting to go out. It was exciting to go to the bar. It was exciting to drink. It was exciting to talk to ladies. It was exciting to hear that music play. That left probably about 30 to 35, and I want none of that anymore. I don't like waiting in lines. I don't have any desire to go to, like, the music is louder
Yeah.
than it was before, which, let's face it, it's not that much louder. It's just that I'm more sensitive. And I feel that only exponentially increases the older you get. Now it's too loud. Now it's too. I can't take this. I need to go to the car. Like, it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder they think old people are crabby. Yes, of course they are, because everything just gets worse. What is that?
Yep.
Not fair. All right. Let's move on to number 3. Does anybody notice that when you wake up, sometimes stuff just hurts?
Yep.
You don't know why.
No.
It's just there. I didn't even do anything with my right knee yesterday except walk. What happened? Nothing. No, nothing. It just hurts. That's what you get. Oh, that's great. This is really exciting.
I think all of ours is going to be similar.
Yeah, probably. And that's fine. I'm fine with that. Number 2 is the notion that, how do I phrase this? I'm trying to find the right words for it. You start understanding and appreciating how old people would always, yell at young people for certain things.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's not music. Well, Derek, you were listening to Tupac. What do you think? What's your choice on real music? And that's what's scary too, is that's now become oldies. They're gonna play that on the oldies station. Our music. You just wait and see. We're not that far away.
They already do.
Yeah.
They do.
See. Thank you. 80s music.
You play some of our music, and the kids today are like, "That's old."
Yeah.
God.
Oh, is it? Well, then turn it off. No one's listening to anything. How about that? Just be miserable on this car ride. Apparently, I'm already there as a crabby old man. Number 1 is just the medical stuff. I've recently run
Yep.
into this, and it's scary. And then
Yeah.
you have to realize that the back 9 of your life can't be like the front.
No.
So you better start, taking care of yourself and what you need to do.
Yeah.
And I never realized just how much. It's not even like that much maintenance yet. It really isn't. But it's like, we told you to exercise. We told you to eat right. Okay, we told you to do that, and you didn't. Now we're going to make sure you do it every day. And with that, here are some pills.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now we're gonna have the, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Oh,
Yep.
God.
Mhm. Luckily, I have to take mine every day, and it's just the one right now.
Yeah.
But that
Same
could
here.
change very quickly.
Oh, God.
So this is, and by the way, if there are any younger folks out there listening to this episode, you really should take note of this, because it will happen to you, and we're trying to provide you a service. Okay, just take it from us, please. All right. We love having you on every week, but we're trying to guide you in terms of what's ahead for you. Okay.
Ugh.
Don't worry, life is still beautiful. We're not saying that. Just prepare for what's ahead. All right. Thank you. That was my 5.
Very good.
Mm,
All right, Baba, let's hear it. This would be interesting.
All right. Number 5 of getting older sucks.
yeah. Tell it.
I feel dumber
Oh, yeah.
because I don't know how to work some of the stuff that my kids run circles around me on.
Yeah.
My parents will ask me stuff. How does that work? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, how am I supposed to know?
You feel like you should.
And then some of the stuff that the kids say, like my son responds to me when I had asked him a question one time, and he responds with bet. Like, the heck
With
is that?
what?
Bet.
Yeah. Or sus. That's the
Or
new thing.
all
Sus.
the
I'm
all
like,
those
what?
others.
Sus.
I'm like, what the heck? And you haven't heard stuff like this before, and it's like, what? So when I was in nursing school, the instructor, she asked everybody, or I shouldn't say asked, but she started out the lecture by talking about how, as a nurse, sometimes you're going to be harassed, or you're going to have people grabbing at you and stuff like that. If you're male, some of the ladies will grab at you. If you're female, some of the men will be doing that. And she asked the lady, she's like, what are some of the terms that guys use for you nowadays? And one of the girls speaks up and says, well, they call us a snack. And I was like, I raised my hand. I'm like, a snack? I'd never heard that before. Never heard anybody called a snack before.
Yeah.
Like, what is some guys like, yo, babe, you look like a bologna sandwich. You look like a snack right there. I'm gonna gobble you right. I'm like, it makes no sense. And then when I heard the explanation, I'm like, okay, but still a snack, so I feel dumb listening to all the stuff that the kids talk about and their abbreviations and the way they can run circles around. So that's number 5.
Yeah.
Number 4. God, it's easy to fall asleep now.
Yeah. That's true.
Like, there are times I'll come in from work on the weekend and I'll sit down in the recliner, turn on the television, and it isn't 5 minutes. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Now, in
Oh,
all
yeah.
fairness, sometimes on the weekends, I have to be at work at 6 a.m, so I'm up pretty early. But there was a time that didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Not at all. And now, those naps feel pretty good. I'll tell you this. So yeah, I can fall asleep a lot faster, and that kind of sucks. Number 3. I am much more forgetful now than what I used to be. I've had this happen where a nurse will ask me for something,
Yeah.
and I'll walk into the supply closet to get it for them, and I've forgotten what they've asked me for, and I'm
Yeah.
looking around, hoping I'll see what it is that they asked me for, and I'll remember. And thankfully, a nurse who was younger than me, when I mentioned that, yeah, she turned around and said, "Oh yeah, I forget all the time." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, it's just because we're nurses and we're stressed out all the time." And then it occurred to me, no, it's because we're getting older. We forget stuff more than what we used to. Like and it's funny because they talk about how when you get dementia, your short-term memory is the first thing to go and not the long-term memory. I can remember a song from the 80s and sing it all the way through. It takes me forever to learn a new song.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's harder to do. Maybe it's because the music sucks, but I don't think that's it. I think it's just I'm more forgetful.
Or we can remember video games we played against each other and like what happened in that game, right?
Yeah, I can still remember that.
Yeah.
So, number 2, what happened to that temperature control? Because there was a time where the temperature did not bother me.
Oh
Like
God.
I'd be blasting the cold temperature in my car, 60 degrees, it'd be 30 degrees outside, but I had it a nice 60 in the car and it wouldn't bother me. Now it could be 70 degrees outside or not even 70, it's 80 degrees outside. I turn the air down to 60 and I'm like, oh God, it's cold. I have to turn the temperature up a little bit.
Yeah.
The temperature actually bothers me. It didn't bother me years ago. So that's number 2. And Derek, you mentioned this one. And this is my number 1. Everything hurts.
Yeah.
Like
It's
you get out of bed and you start to walk and it's like, and you have to straighten up. I get out of the chair, I have to straighten up and stretch to get the pain gone because your back's all tight or your muscles are sore. I'm like, what the heck? And then, like you said, there's times you have no idea what happened. You wake up the next day and you've got this soreness like in your calf or in your hamstring or something like that. And you're like, where the heck did this pain come from? I didn't do anything. Right?
Yeah. No.
Out of nowhere.
No.
So yeah. Or you're like your shoulder and you're like, okay, well, maybe I slept on it wrong or something like that. I mean, really, when did that happen? I think that was the time I realized when I was getting older was when I got out of bed one day and started walking and it was like, and then I had to, and my feet were hurting and it was like, oh gosh, when did that happen? So yeah, everything hurts. That's my number 1.
Everything.
All right. My top 5. Good Lord. Let's see if I can think of these. If my brain will let me.
You think of them, you didn't write them down?
No, because they're pretty easy for me.
We just
Number
talked
5.
about how you forget everything.
I know. Number 5 is something that you guys didn't mention that I'm having a time with. Gray hair. You guys are lucky. You're very lucky.
What do you mean I'm lucky? It's all over my beard. I just don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for some reason, and it's funny, I have very little, like right here. It's not bothering me that much. But then people are saying, Josh, when did your chest hair get so gray? And I look and I'm like, dear Lord, it's white.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of it.
Why is everybody else looking at your chest hair?
No, if I'm swimming, or my wife says it,
Okay.
or it's
I
like
thought he was walking around like in this,
no,
Yeah.
this
but-
muscle shirt.
Walking down Ventura Boulevard
it's
with that
like
shirt off.
looking, and my father wasn't completely. You both knew him. He wasn't completely gray. Like he had little
Yeah.
spots, and I keep thinking to myself, I'm like, am I going to be like completely gray? Like, do I like when I go get my haircut? I'm like, do I need to dye this hair yet? Like, is that something I'm going to do or no?
You don't
Or
need, don't be that dude.
I don't think
No,
I
it-
am. I
It
don't
looks
think I will.
distinguished.
Yeah, well, that's what my wife says. But that's why I don't grow a beard because it's white right here. Like I'll get and I'm like, oh, I just don't know if I can enjoy
Gray
it.
hair is not looked at the same way it once was.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely changed. That you're right
Yeah.
about that.
That's because people like Steve Martin made it popular in their 30s.
Steve Martin was gray Steve Martin was white when he was like 25.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When did he he was white in Roxanne. He was white in
Yeah.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Like
He was white in his first stand-up special.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like, and then like SNL days, he was white then.
So what was his original hair? Black?
I don't think anybody knows.
That's
Which is fine. I love Steve Martin, so I'll
Yeah,
take
I do too.
I'll take
did
it.
Wasn't when did Roxanne come out? That was 87.
87.
Like he
I
was
believe,
white
yeah.
back when he made the appearance in the Muppet movie.
Yeah,
Yes, he was.
That was
always
in the
been white.
70s.
Always been white.
All right,
Yeah,
that's what
it's
Steve
been
was
tough.
meant to be. That's fine.
Oh my!
But he made it
God.
cool.
He made it. He made it slick, man. It was great.
So number 4, something happened last year with one of Charlie's friends, who's it's not even a friend, a student, comes up to me and says, "Are you Charlie's grandfather?" And I was like, "Excuse me?"
Yeah.
And even when people say, "Hello, sir," and I'm like my brain thinks I'm 18 years old. I don't see myself as like I am now officially older than what my mom was when she had me. And I was just like, it's so different now. I think people even posted online and said like the Golden Girls, when they started that show, were in their 50s. And then you look at the people who are in their 50s now, it's totally different. Like how they look versus now. And so when he said that, I just was like, you little,
But I think some of that is the way they used to dress at that time and the
It
way
could
they
be.
styled their hairs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because they could have made themselves look a lot younger. But you bring up a point, Josh, about how you don't think like you're older.
No.
I mean, it's true, and I'm telling you this as somebody who works in a nursing home. They still have minds of teenagers at times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Oh,
I actually had the opposite experience the other day.
Yes.
So I was over steaming out, and there were 4 high school guys who walked in there.
Oh
Now,
God.
you all know how we talked when we were in high school and college whenever we went to the gym. Well, what'd you
Yes.
do today? What'd you lift? And I was just sitting there trying to mind my own business. I'm like, oh God, I remember this and I don't need to be a part of it. And this high school kid, looks at me and goes, "What about you, man?" And I'm like, huh? Like, where's your mom, dude? Leave me alone. Like, what? Do I look like you? We're not friends. What you doing? What I'm doing on a Saturday night? Like, no. And then they proceeded. Go ahead.
no, I just want to piggyback off that real quick
Yeah.
because there was back when I worked at Sam's Club. I remember this one time this young kid comes up to me and I wasn't even older at this time. I mean, I was in my
In your
upper
20s.
Yeah, I was in my upper 20s or whatnot. And this guy comes up to me, he's like, "Hey, bro, man, dude, Holmes, I say," and not once did I turn around until he finally says, "Sir," and then I turned around.
Like, you're not used to people like talking like that youngster. I'm just like, dude, what? Don't you have like English homework to do? What are you talking to me for? Like, what? We're not the same. Look, you're in a different place. And then, of course, then the other talk that we used to have in circumstance like that starts happening, where they were rating girls' looks and telling how certain girls were, shall we say, promiscuous. This was all in different language, of course.
Yes.
And then you're sitting there, and you're just like, I'm really glad that part of my life is over with. Like, I'm glad that's way in the distance now. And then it's finally just like, okay, guys, you have a good day. Yeah, you too, man. And I'm like, are they going to invite me over to their kegger? Like, no.
You would go. You would so.
No, I would not. No, I would not do that.
No, he wouldn't go.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so all right, I gotta say, so my number 3 is something Derek said. Going out to clubs now. I mean, Derek and I went to college together, as everyone knows. You go out, you're having fun. You're dancing, you're drinking. There's, you got the girls and everything. My wife and I, we don't go out that often, but sometimes we get invited and people say, "Oh, we're going to this like bar," and they play music. And I'm like, this is no fun. Like, you can't hear yourself think. You can't talk to anyone. We'd rather be at home in bed watching something. when did we get so boring? Like, why can't, and I just can't deal with it. Like, a concert's different, but sitting in a restaurant or a bar and it's loud, where's the fun in that?
I almost said about bringing earplugs to WrestleMania this year.
Wow.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's going to be loud. It's going to be loud. And it was. It
Yeah.
was really loud. But, I
Um,
mean, it was great, but it was loud. Dear
well,
Lord.
and then, and number two is one that I'm going to piggyback Bob in terms of sleeping. Let me tell you. So we all get up very early, all of us, right? We have kids, Bob has work. Derek has, we just talked this morning, having to get the kids ready for bed and I mean, for school and all that. When I get up on Wednesdays now and it's like 6 a.m. and I'm thinking, oh my God, we're doing the podcast tonight. Do I have time for a nap? Because there are times Bob's like, you were yawning. I'm like, I know, I can't help myself. And then if I'm on the couch, boom, fall asleep or in bed. Literally every night it will take me. That's why Bob always gets on me. He's like, why haven't you finished this? Because I'm falling asleep. Like there's positions now in the bed. Like I have to sit up. And even then I'll start to fall asleep. The minute I'm like on my side, I maybe last like, and I'm on my iPad watching something, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So yeah, it sucks that like,
So you're watching something on your iPad and you'll fall asleep in 5 minutes.
Like I'll turn over and I'll be watching my iPad and just laying down watching the iPad and I fall asleep.
That's not possible. You told us last week that you always pay attention when you watch on your iPad.
No, there are times I fall asleep though. I always fall asleep. That's why it takes me forever. Yeah.
So you're checking your emails and then you just fall asleep.
Sometimes. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what though, Derek? I will say this. There's sometimes I'm on my phone and I'll sit there and I've got my hands, on something and I'll fall asleep while it's there. And all of a sudden I wake up and the picture's been blown up because I was holding on to it. I'm just thinking to myself, thank God I didn't send something or like something I wasn't supposed to.
Or like something, or I've done that.
Yeah.
I've got my iPad on the floor.
I'll sit on my couch watching my phone like this.
Yeah.
And I'll fall asleep and I'll drop everything in my hands and my phone.
Yeah.
It's right on my nose too.
Oh God.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
My number one also, health. And like when things hurt, and it's interesting because I feel I'm not in pain all the time where I'm like, oh my God. But there are times if I've like played golf or the next day and I get up and I go, oh, and I don't even mean to. It just happens. And you're like, where did that come from? And again, in my brain, I'm like 18 or 21 years old. My body says otherwise. And that's what sucks is like, with your health, like Derek said, and it's just like, you think of yourself as like, oh God, now I'm blanking out on the word, like almost like impervious to pain. Like you nothing can happen, but that's not the case. But still, it's just like it's just weird getting old. And then you go to the
slap in the face when they start telling you that you've got this problem or you've got that problem, and you're like,
yeah,
really?
Or they say you're no spring chicken. I've had a doctor tell me that. I'm like, wow. Really?
My favorite was the sleep apnea mask.
Yeah.
That was not a fun day hearing I needed that.
Oh God. Yeah. It's just like getting old. And there's so many memories. I remember with Derek in college. I remember with Bob in elementary, and I'm thinking like, it feels like yesterday to me, but it's not.
No, that's a long ways away now, dude.
Yeah. And it's just crazy. And then I start thinking, I'm like, I'm not going to mention our ages or anything, but then I'm like, okay, this is how old we are.
You have in the past.
No, not now. But like, it's funny because it'll say like on TikTok, they have the age of like, for example, they do like shows like Who's the Boss or anything we grew up with. And it'll say how old Tony Danza was then. and it was like our age, and then you're like, how old he is now? You're like, oh, I don't want to know that. You know what I mean?
You know, that's not the worst thing in the world though, because Salma Hayek still looks just fine to me.
Oh, she's incredible. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
things are still actually okay on that level. Like women, you know, they're getting better with age. A lot of them are. So
Yes.
They
you know,
say
that's
like
not-
the 50s, the new 40s, 60s, like the new
Yes.
50, you know, stuff like that. Hopefully, by the time we get to some of that, you know, by the time we get to be 60, that's the new 40, you know.
Yep. Can't say
God,
we're
I
going to
hope
look like 40 at 60, but we'll try.
Oh
We'll still
God.
have the sleep apnea mask.
Not necessarily.
No, yes, necessarily. Once you have apnea, that's it, dude. You don't get out of it. I
You
mean,
can improve, right, Bob? You can improve your numbers.
Yeah, you could, but I mean,
Bob's like, you won't.
look, let's put it this way: the residents that I've got that got sleep apnea masks or the CPAP masks, they're using it for the remainder of their lives. So
yeah.
I'll tell you this: if God forbid, like something's wrong, you know, for me, like a lot of people we've talked about this tend to keep things to themselves. I'm letting you guys know, God forbid something's wrong. I want you guys there making me laugh.
Yeah, I'm
Like
probably
that,
just
to
going to
me,
give you a
that's
bunch of crap, but if that's really, you know,
to me, that's important. Like I think, yeah, I don't think people get that when they're sick. Enough laughter to try to help them out.
yeah, we can do
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
So that's what I think.
I think
I
that's a
think-
fair
Thanks.
point.
Yeah, thanks for putting yourself on your deathbed. God.
I
Yeah.
know. No, I say we
Mhm.
all need to be on the beach. We have to have a beach house and just in our when we're old and just have people serving us on the beach.
Ain't nobody going to be serving us nothing. We're going to be getting up hurt, walking there, unable to hear. All right. That's what that's going to be if we ever get a beach house together.
All I know, Josh, is if you get to that point and you need me to do something for you, here's what's going to happen.
Brother, what a night it really was. Brother, what a night.
It's so good. That
Let me
works.
ask you this though.
Yeah.
You ever find that like sometimes you get like up from lying down,
Yeah.
or like kind of kneeling down, and you get up and you feel dizzy?
Yep,
Not that often. No.
it happens.
Yeah,
Occasionally, I'll say.
that's happening to me a lot more now. Where I'm like, whoa, hold on, that needs a minute.
When you get up,
Really?
get up slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. What about this one? How often do you have to get up in the night to use the bathroom?
I'm not answering that.
Wow. Really? I'm only once, occasionally.
Really?
Yeah, that sounds about right for
Yeah, it really depends what I've like if I've drank a lot before bed, like I always have like my tea and water. Like if I've drank a lot of it, then yes, I'll get up. But most of the time, I would say like 5 or 6 in the morning.
What time
Yeah.
are you going to bed?
11:30.
And
How many are you going, Bob? How many times?
He just said he wasn't going to answer it.
Now he needs to.
I will say it depends on what time I go to bed, though.
Yeah.
I'll say that plays into it because when you were younger, there was a time you could go to bed at 9:00. I'm not saying that you went to bed at 9:00 very often. I'm saying you could, and you didn't have to get up to go pee until 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. What about you, Derico?
It's not that way now. I'll tell you that.
It's just it's probably just the one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's it generally doesn't it doesn't really go much past that. What sucks though is that I try to do it in the dark to try
Oh, yeah.
I try to walk
Same
and
here.
I
Same
step on and bump into at least 3 things on the way there.
Yeah.
I stepped on a whole, and I paid for this one too emotionally. with my children. I stepped on a whole Lego structure one night. And it
Oh,
hurt so bad.
oh my God, that's the worst.
Mhm.
Oh
And then
my
the next morning,
God.
Daddy stepped on it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? Take a look at my bottom of my goddamn foot.
Oh
Right?
my
Maybe if
God.
you had picked it up and put it on the floor, that wouldn't have happened.
Oh my God, that sucks. That's the worst pain ever. They have
Yes.
like a video of a soon-to-be father. They're like, okay, it's time for you to train to be a dad, and they put Legos on a treadmill, and they're
That's
like, okay, you
no.
gotta walk. Thank God we're not a Lego family.
Yeah, well, you'll find something that'll hurt your
Oh,
feet.
there's
Don't
stuff.
worry.
Believe me, there is a ton of stuff all over this house, dog toys and everything that I step on. So yeah, so that's yeah, that's interesting.
Then you find a need more and more to not use a public restroom. I wasn't big into that to begin with, but sometimes you can't avoid it now. It's just like,
No,
Lord,
no, I used to be like, oh, I can maybe not go, and then oh no, I'm
no,
like, yeah, I'm going to the bathroom.
you're in it.
That never
Like,
bothered me.
if it needs to happen, it needs to happen.
Yeah,
Spicy food moves fast these days.
I mean, yeah, it affects you a lot more than what it did when you were younger. That's true.
That thing is fast on the highway, man.
Oh my God.
All the fun,
God.
all the fun you're gonna get.
So good. All right, guys. Well, what a topic. We were able to turn something dark and depressing into something funny. That's us.
Well, that's life, man. You
Yeah.
just roll with it.
That is.
Mhm.
That is life.
Yeah.
I always think of Bob has talked about this for years, the whole Sanford and stuff. The big one's coming. I'm coming for you, baby.
Mhm.
He was probably our age when he did that too. No, I think he was older.
Maybe
No, yeah, who knows? All right,
he
guys.
always looked old.
He did. He did. All right, Derek. Oh, this is going to be funny. Where can we find you?
Luckily, not in the grave yet. Facebook and LinkedIn.
All right, Bob. Where can we find you?
You can find me over on my YouTube page. What the channel Was It Good? Easiest way to find me is at Bob Loves Movies, or you can find me on X and Criticless. And as always, we do put our social media in the description below.
All right, and you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. I am the Family Man of the Valley. All right, guys. Very good evening, Derico. Happy birthday, my friend. Many more.
Happy birthday.
And again, Bob, we're sorry for your loss. And good. Have a good night, guys.
You guys have a good
You
night.
guys. Mhm.
All right. Good night.
Bye.